Hey artists, it's Monsterpawss. Happy Halloween! I hope you guys are doing something extra spoopy today. If you're not and you're just sitting at home like I am because you have no friends and no social life, then welcome to the club. Anyway, today's drawing is a Draw This Again challenge. This is a redraw of a drawing that I did 3 years ago, and it was just whenever I was getting into marker drawings and marker illustrations. The original drawing of this is called Black Milk. I'm not sure why I titled it Black Milk. I think it was because I was listening to a song and the song's title was Black Milk, and it was sort of an eerie song, and it's by Massive Attack. If you know who Massive Attack is, they did the theme song for House, the TV show, like the doctor, medical, he's a addict, and he does pills and shit. I don't know. Anyway, I listened to that song a lot while I was drawing the original because, I don't know, I just really liked that song, so I titled the original drawing after that song. And so this one will be titled Black Milk version 2. I am extremely happy with how this turned out. I love seeing these two together and seeing the process. I did not realize that I had improved that much with my marker technique, which is freaking amazing. The original drawing of this took me an insanely long time because the original is 24 inches by 19 inches, so that's extremely big. All in all, about 80 hours of combined time spread out over the span of 2.5 months went into version 1 of this drawing. Version 2 is 14 by 17 inches. It took me 40 hours over the past 20 days to complete. Like I said, I got into marker art about 3 years ago, and at the time I only had 72 Copic markers. Now I have about 150, I think, so I had a lot more colors to work with, and the one thing that I really wanted to improve was the shading. I think the reason the shading in the original is a little bit patchy, a little bit spotty, and not as smooth as my shading usually is because I did not have the range of colors that I have now. And so I used a lot more markers in the skin and in the background than I did in the original. I decided to change up a few things. For one thing, in the original, I didn't really care for the body portion of it. I felt like I just added a bunch of things in there that just really didn't need to be there. It just didn't go very well together. In this one, I stuck to a little bit more of a theme and a little bit more of a color palette, and I feel like this one turned out a lot more polished. Both version 1 and 2 were made with Halloween in mind, hence the spiders and the overwhelming presence of orange in the original. I'm not a big fan of orange, so I decided for the second version that I would take the orange and change it to red. Moving on to the background, I decided to keep with the original idea to have sort of a stained glass background. And in the original drawing, that is the same idea that I had for that background. However, I don't think it looks particularly like stained glass. I really wanted to sort of revamp the background and give it something that looks sort of like the vision that I had for the original. Now that I think about it, the original background probably didn't look like stained glass because I didn't even bother to look up a picture of what stained glass even looks like. For the second version, I did look up a picture and at least get a decent idea of what stained glass looks like and how it's placed and whatnot. Well, I hope none of you are arachnophobic, because this chick is literally made from spiders. Well, not literally, but you know, she's made of spiders. In the original drawing, I wanted it to seem more like she was infected or bitten by a spider. In this one, I want it to seem like she is a radiating spider. Like, the spiders are coming out of her skin, she is a spider portal, and you need to stay away from her because, like, I don't fuck with spiders, okay? Throughout the original drawing, there are a bunch of random designs in random spots, and I wanted to keep the designs in this version, but I didn't want them to be in just random spots for no reason. So I feel like in this version, they are more strategically placed instead of just scattered throughout the drawing and, you know, random colors everywhere. Again, I feel like the biggest thing that I needed to improve on was just placing my colors and composition in general. I feel like the body on this piece was the part that required the most thought and the most thinking and planning because I did not like the body on the original piece. Like I said, I feel like I just added a bunch of shit in there that just didn't need to be there, and the shading wasn't all that great. So I just decided to go with a simple gradient that had some patterns, and I decided to have spider lilies sprouting out of her body to keep with the spider theme. Because there is a flower in the original, but I did not want to put that flower in her hair because, again, I didn't like the placement of that flower. So instead of having the flower in her hair, I decided to have the spider lilies sprouting out of her body instead. Because my style has evolved and changed so much over the past 3 years with using markers and Copic markers and Prismacolors and things like that, I found it very difficult to keep this version of the drawing looking like the original version, and the hair was an example of that. Just like with pretty much everything else in the original, I was not a big fan of the hair. I decided to change that almost completely, actually all completely, and pretty much redo the hair. The only thing that I kept pretty much similar was I did sort of a swoopy pattern towards the front of the face, and that's pretty much the only thing that I kept sort of the same as the original. But I love this hairstyle a lot more than I like the original, so I think it's a win. Yay! The face was another thing that I felt had a bunch of unnecessary things on it. So I decided in this version, I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna shade the face and leave it with spiders on there. And I'm not gonna put any ridiculous designs or patterns on there. I'm just gonna leave it as a face. I think it really helps to break up the patterns and the colors and give your eyes sort of a break because the face is majority white and gray. I think that decision worked out really well. I think that's about it for the commentary on this video. If you're quick enough, you might be able to snatch this version 2 original off of my Etsy shop. The original will also be for sale on my Etsy shop as well. If you're not about that originals life, because originals are expensive, you can visit my Redbubble shop. I have not had the chance to update my Redbubble shop yet because my computer with Photoshop is out of commission and I'm waiting for the charger to come in the mail. So I haven't had a chance to edit the photo for this and then update my Redbubble shop. If you're following me on Snapchat, I will let you guys know on Snapchat and Twitter when my Redbubble is updated and you can get this drawing as a print or as a mug or something else. If you like this video, don't forget to smack that ass on that like button. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Snapchat. All the links are in the description below. You can also subscribe. We do art things. Alright you guys, I will see you in the next video. Stay spooky, and remember, Don't quit your daydream. I got the fine tipped nib pin, which I kind of feel like is very, very fine. I would almost consider it like an extra fine. I don't know if Japan's